When starting a YouTube channel, people tell you to just grab your phone, a mic, and start recording. I didn't listen. I redesigned an entire room before I even posted my first YouTube video, which is this one. Quick context, I'm a designer entrepreneur who has spent over 2 decades designing products and experiences that I can't talk about here. So here's the thing, I'm neurodivergent. I'm both ADHD and autistic. Basically, I'm double the fun when it comes to hyper-focused and complete scatterbrain, and somehow craving order and chaos at the same time. Then you throw in perimenopause. I am amazed when I can get myself out the door by finding my keys on the first try. So for a brain like mine, visual calm isn't just decoration, it's a necessity. Because trust me, it's not exactly calm up in here. This was the before. It was a spare guest bedroom with a chair, table, some plants, a pull-out sofa, and a kitchenette, all crammed into one space. So the first thing I did was determine which orientation did I want to shoot. This is a square room with basically 2 walls that are floor-to-ceiling glass windows. So this made this wall a very easy choice. Once I figured out the camera angle, I looked through the camera and I realized all the art that I loved that were behind me were just competing for attention. They were super high contrast to one another and it was very distracting and just didn't feel calm. So when the art came down, it left me with a very cool backdrop, which wasn't the feeling I was going for. Sometimes I think when it comes to aesthetics, it's easier to sense what you don't like than it's easier to figure out what you do like. Now, here's the thing they don't tell you about paint. It's not just about choosing a color that you like. It's mainly about choosing a color you feel good being in. Some colors can calm you, some can give you the ick. How you feel seeing the color is a good tell. In addition, I had to find a color that I felt worked with my skin tone. Here are some of the swatches that you can see. Some were very close to my actual skin tone, so I felt kind of like I was blending into the background, and some gave a better contrast. What I was really going for was this kind of golden, deserty look, so I wanted a little more yellow and warmth, but also feel light in the space. This ChatGPT exercise was super interesting. I just took a photo of my room and asked it to give me a desert vibey feel, and it immediately gave me all these different color options. The craziest part was that it was able to give me the actual number of the paint from a known manufacturer. Remember the goal? Visual calm. Now, for me, the kitchenette was always really distracting. I just wanted to not be able to see it. I decided to do a whole wall of curtains to visually elevate it. Now, I really went all out with the curtains. Because of the 2 glass windows on both sides here, I had to use blackout curtains to completely control the light. I intentionally chose 3 different color curtains because for me, it was the easiest way to kind of get different contrasting backgrounds that also, of course, had to work with my skin, but also create visual interest as I can use different color curtains to create a different scene. So I want to show you how the curtains work. So all of these are basically hiding, like here's a door here, some shelves. Now you don't see them. And check this out. Here you go. As you can see, as I'm thinking through what choices to make, I'm always testing it against the camera because that's the real constraint. What something looks like to the human eye is very different on how it shows up on camera. So anytime I'm trying to make a decision, I always prototype and test it to see how does it look with the real deal from the camera's lens. Now, the other area that is really important to me is the lounge. The reason the lounge matters is because I want to be able to relax. To me, it's kind of my calm space where I can just be quiet by myself. I'm also very introverted, so this gives me a little like slice of peace, and I can just focus and script and write and work. By the way, I am a chair aficionado. I'm crazy about chairs. I like just keep buying chairs, despite the fact that my husband is always saying, we only have 2 butts, okay? Over here is my equipment station. Everything has a place. Everything is within reach. Well, almost everything. But most can be hidden away because visual calm. So here's what I want you to take from this. It's not just about the room. It's about thinking about the space where you spend your time and asking yourself, is this working for my brain or against it? Sometimes small changes can completely change how you feel. Designing your environment is not indulgent. It's one of the smartest and kindest things you can do for yourself. Design is changing your reality intentionally, and you have the power.